open. Yes, sir!
Lastimosa, another three. Cash!
Jerome Lastimosa, three!
Oh, go! Triple for Jerome Lastimosa.
Melesio all day to shoot. Gets it to go! Lasal is off and running. Melesio behind the back pass again! Justin Baltasar brings that baby home! Against Desiderio, the bang in the bucket. They swing it to Comboy, who's had the hot hand. Still finds a way, fading away on one leg. Ildefonso will drive right. That's all muscle. Changes direction. Twice he does that. Navigates through Pasay traffic. Double-double performance for Philip Manalang. Straightaway jumper. Nothing but sweet string music.
Manzo with a steal. All the way.
That's one out of the back.
Highlight the University of the Philippines after
Here's
32
the
years.
end of the moment.
CJ for three. Are you kidding me? Subido with a crossover. Subido for three. Renzo Subido. Ravenna leaves it for Edge. Oh! Here's Matt, the 30. Highlight coming. Two-hand slam. Dominance and the excellence of the Ateneo de Manila Eagles continues.
If you get in your car anywhere in the metro, we'll drive east, as far east as the road will take you, literally up the mountain, and you'll find yourselves where we are at the Inares Sports Center here in Antipolo, where the Fighting Maroons will take on the Soaring Falcons. This is a live and exclusive coverage of the UAAP Season 82, the men's basketball tournament entitled All for More is being brought to you by ABS-CBN Sports. You're watching us live on SNA HD, on Liga HD, on iWant, on TFC, on live streaming. Magandang hapon sa lahat ng ating mga UAAP fans all over the Philippines, and good evening, good morning to you wherever it is you are in the world or whenever it is you guys are choosing to watch this game. Nico Ramos here with Christian Luanzon as we give you your second serving on Basketball Sunday. Completing our team this year, of course, for this game. Of course, this year they've been reporting all season long for UP, and for Adamson, that is Miss Yani Mayo reporting for the Fighting Maroons, and across from her on the opposite baseline, Rain Matienzo will be reporting for the Soaring Falcons. Ladies, we'll get to you guys in a moment, but Christian, the race to the Final Four and that interesting mini race to that number 2 spot is getting more and more interesting. The margin of error getting smaller and smaller, and for Adamson and for UP, this game is now going to mean so much more than just one win or one loss.
Especially for UP at this point. You can't lose a basketball game if you want to secure that second spot. As we look at the standings right here, you know, still spotless is Ateneo. A question remains if, you know, regardless of what happens to the next 2 games, it's really if they're going to go for the sweep, which I think they will, or lose a basketball, they will remain number 1. UP, on the other hand, again, they got to win all their basketball games to secure the 2 spot, and that's because of the UST Growling Tigers beating them twice. So if in case if it ends up as a tie, obviously UP will lose a tiebreaker. I'm not going to dive in all the way down to the other teams, but Adamson, obviously an important game if they still want to be in the hunt of that race that you were talking about.
Christian, especially because it's starting to smell like a stepladder. Oh, we're not saying that's guaranteed. Ateneo has to take care of business twice, but in a stepladder format, that number 2 spot gets a little bit more valuable because 3 and 4 have to go at it first. All right, well, let's go back to September 15th. UP versus Adamson, the renewal of that rivalry from last year. The Falcons They haven't forgotten. They still remember that bitter taste of Final Four defeat that UP handed them last year, and it delivered as advertised. Took us to extra 5 minutes, 83-82 the final. Kobe Paras, that was his welcome to the UAAP breakout game, and Val Chauca did the same thing as they put up 20 and 21 apiece.
Well, Adamson seemed in charge of this one, going up as much as 16 in after 2 quarters. Val Chauca had 15 of those 21 second quarter points, and UP managed to flip the script with a 27-9 third quarter. And then Adamson, having a 3-point lead. Paras, found Javi for that game tying, that 3 that led into overtime. Bright Aqueti closing out in overtime, 6 of the 8 points, I believe, to close out that overtime win. After Adamson having a 7-point lead with 1 minute and 59 remaining in overtime.
And they want that one back. They want that one back in a bad way. Let's stay on the UP side of things for now and talk about the last time we saw them in action. You alluded to it earlier against the Growling Tigers. They didn't have Kobe Paras in the first round, meeting UST took that one. The Tigers didn't have Renza Bando in the second round meeting and still took care of business against the Fighting Maroons on October 16. As they took that one in a 6-point affair, 84-78.
And it was a historic game in the UAAP, and I mentioned that because the Tigers had a UAAP record in this game, tying most triples made, 16, and also the fewest turnovers in 6 turnovers only committed by the Tigers. But this was a surprise to me, Nico. That's because in the first half, you look at the 3-point shooting, UP coming into this game was dead last in the league in 3-point shooting. They made 7 already in the first half, eventually made 12. UST, on the other hand, had 9, finished the game with 16. And the question in the second half was that can UP sustain that? And they were able to, shooting-wise. The problem was they played UST's game. UST is the only team in the league that with an average of about 75 points per game, almost 40% coming from downtown. That's their game plan. UP not number 1 in points in the paint. That's why they lost that one, and with a lot more reasons.
Well, leading the comeback was Kobe Paras. You mentioned they were down by as much as 16. They've turned to Paras all season. 82 long has been the consistent stat sheet stuffer para dito sa UP, and 18 points across his name even after going down with a scary fall in the second period. Had 9 of those in the fourth, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and Paras is expected to once again put up that type of a stat line here against Adamson.
Also had his best shooting game from downtown, also a high of 3-pointers in that. I believe he had 4 at least of the 12. And then, that scary fall, obviously a lot of UP faithful obviously happy to see him come back in that game. The only thing in that game, he was limited of getting to the line, averaging about 6 to 7 free throws per game. UST they did just a terrific job of controlling the pace and not allowing Paras to get to the line more.
All right, well, let's go courtside to Miss Yanni Mayo, who has more on these Fighting Maroons. Yanni, go ahead.
UP on 3, family on 6. Nico and Chris is the usual post-practice huddle chat of the guys, but the relationship extends beyond the court. Javi Gomez-Deliano said that he's close with everyone because they do have a strong bond outside of the games. Now in their free times, they try to see each other as much as possible, messaging the group chats for hangouts. Bright Aqueti's favorite activity with the guys is eating. Now Coach Bo Peresol encourages all of these team bonding activities as well. Recently, the team wanted to watch a movie, but Bright said that they needed to rest since they had a game the following day. Now when I asked if that relationship translated on the court, Bright and Javi said that it hasn't fully manifested. Bright mentioned that they still need to make the necessary sacrifices individually so that the entire team benefits in the games. Chemistry is the main hindrance at this point, but time is ticking. They need to mesh well together fast, according to Javi. Speaking of the team, their hashtag 16strong is on June Man's customized shoes for today, immortalizing his favorite UAAP memory that happened last season in the Final Four, where he made a crucial shot against their opponents, Adamson, Nika, and Chris. They're definitely a family. I'm still hoping to see that relationship extend toward the court.
Thanks a lot, Yanni. We'll hear more from you at the half. We'll take a break for right about now and talk about the Soaring Falcons when we return. back in the Big East in Antipolo City to be witnesses to Adamson and UP, the second installment of their rivalry in season 82. The last time we saw the Soaring Falcons, it was against the NU Bulldogs as they took that victory 72-53 in a wide margin in dominating fashion and in a Soaring Falcon style that we haven't seen consistently. It's kind of been a Jekyll and Hyde situation for Adamson. You don't know which kind of team is going to show up, but against the National University Bulldogs, you take a look at how they limited that field goal percentage for NU. The free throws they got to the line and limited the trips for NU, but the big number there is really assists, doubling up on sharing the basketball against the Bulldogs.
And that's a great point, Nico. That's been the word really questionable for this Adamson season. 4 wins out of the 10 games so far. They've been inconsistent, no question about it. But you look at the numbers right here. I thought this was their best game out of the 4 wins. You look at the 42%. This is the best offensive game they had out of the 4 wins. Also, 35%, 53 points rather, averaging 70 points at the 70s in terms of points allowed in that game. Free throws also allowing at least 20. That's dead last in the league coming into this game. Only allowed NU to go to the line 6 times. You look at the 20 assists. Also, turnover points. Only 10 turnovers was Adamson in this case. Kaya 6 lang yung na-convert ng National U.
And a big part of that, apart from the stars, the Ahanisis, the Chaukas of the Adamson world, where the reserves played big as AP Manlapas and Simon Camacho combined for 27 points and 10 rebounds as it was a more complete, a deeper performance mula dito sa Adamson, and that's really something that they've had to rely on this year. It hasn't always shown up for them, but in this case, and they're hoping that it translates to the rest of this season, these two guys are starting to get into a groove and be a little bit more consistent in the final 4 outings of the regular season.
Well, dagdag mo ba dyan si Lastimosa? Nabanggit mo nga itong dalawa, itong si Manlapas and si Camacho. They won that stat, the bench points. All 3 players coming off the bench, 40 to 33 plus 7 para sa kanila. 16 of 28 for the 3 for 57% in that game. Add to that, Lastimosa had 9 of the 20 assists.
And he's set the table for Adamson, and they're looking to do a little bit more of the same and avenge their first round loss against UP. Let's go courtside to Rain Matienzo, who has more on the Falcons. Rain, go ahead.
Nico and Christian, post-win against the NU Bulldogs, Coach Franz put a pause on their celebration by saying that this win means nothing. Like you mentioned, the team finally got a lift from Simon Camacho and AP Manlapas after crippling bench performances. Still, pinagtataka ni Coach kung kailan ulit sasabog ang laro ni AP, lalo pa dahil may pagka-inconsistent nga ang Falcons in sustaining the good bench numbers. If you guys recall, AP's last breakout performance was way back in round 1 versus UP. Now the coaches recognize that UP is filled with very capable penetrators, and for Adamson, who is not there yet offensively, the coach has made the players realize that it is our defense that keeps us afloat. With this, the team double time in nailing those defensive plays in practice. Thus, the Fighting Maroons must expect aggression as an early start. I'll get back to you guys at the half, but for now, what are your thoughts on the Falcons, Nico and Christian?
Well, thanks a lot, Rain. We'll definitely be waiting in bated breath if Manlapas and the rest of that second charge para dito kay Adamson will do what Franz Pumaran is expected and show up again here today. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have the tip for you, UP versus Adamson.
Our officials this ball game, crew chief Nestor Zambrano, umpire 1 Molly De Luna, umpire 2 Jesus Borjas, and our game commissioner Editha Montecario.
Let's start talking about Richie Rivero. It's been almost a round and a half that the UP Fighting Maroon fans have been waiting for Richie to burst out of his shell, shake off that adjustment period or whatever it is you want to call it, and go back to LaSalle Richie. You know, that form, that guy who was in the finals, an electrifying offensive force. He scored double figures against USD, the second time he's done that this year, and they're hoping it's the beginning of upward momentum for Rivero.
Did most of his damage of those 12 points in the second quarter where he produced 10. I thought it's a good start in terms of finding himself, as you mentioned in that game. Hindi niya pinilit yung mga drives na were in. 3 men were waiting for him, and then he saw the in-between game. We saw the pull-up, as we see Lenda Duanga's numbers also with a double-double in that last game against NU, 11, 15, and 3.
And you know, that's going to be a big deliverable para kay Lenda against the reigning MVP in Bright Taqueti. If he can give them 11 and 15 in this game, that will raise the chances of these Falcons immensely. Now, the table setters for UP and for Adamson, June Manzo and Jerome Lastimosa, you see the head-to-head on your screen.
Well, June Manzo has been playing good basketball the last 2 games. In terms of shooting the basketball, has been in double figures in the last 2 games. His best output 2 games earlier was against UE. Jerome Lastimosa, the same thing, you can make that case. His best game was the last game, getting 10 points and 9 assists.
You know what? You know, people always remember, as you check out the starters on your screen, people always remember the 2 games, the epic matchups last season in the Final Four between Adamson and UP. In the dying seconds, when things got really rough in the 4th quarter and overtime of that second game, that matchup was decided by the hands of June Manzo and Jerome Lastimosa as the lead point guards. And we're looking to see them regain form here. Officials Zambrano, De Luna, and Boras will be whistling this one off as UP fields out a couple of fresh faces to start this game. And Adamson will feel out Lendal Duanga in the middle. The backcourt will be Chauca and Ahanisi, no surprise there. But Hierro will get the start para dito sa Adamson.
Well, you know, Nico, we mentioned in the pregame, Chauca had 15 of the 21 points in the second quarter. And Spencer was the first guy to check Chauca to start the 3rd quarter. Ayaw na maulit ni Coach Bo yun. But Chauca says otherwise.
Well, that's what he will do. He is conscienceless, is Val Chauca. Coming off the screen, guy on his hip who has been assigned to shut him down. He takes and makes from 3, gets a steal here. Chauca gets it to Hanisi. Jarek able to handle. No, he is not. That'll be a turnover. And UP has not started out this game, at least in the first 2 possessions, one on their end, one on the other, the way they would like.
You know, transition defense is going to be a key to start the ball game. In their first round meeting, Nico, both teams did not guard, each player did not guard each other in terms of who was guarding them offensively. In other words, there was no mainstay. Kung sino yung bumabantay sa'yo sa opensa, hindi yun ang binabantay niya pagbaba sa kabila. That's why it created confusion sometimes as Chauca with a hot start in the first few minutes of this game.
Well, Val Chauca with a Mitsubishi Mirage G4 drive of the game. He's looked at James Spencer to start things off. He's looked at JB Mantilla after the switch on the 2nd possession. And he said, I got this.
Right.
I ain't scared of these guys.
Well, same thing in their first round meeting. Morel, Mantilla, Tungkab, and Richie, all 4 players guarded him in the first half, torched them for 17 points.
Manzo underneath. The 2-man game between June and Bright leads to a PS bankable assist to the game. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maaasahan. Apply online. No collateral.
Well, same thing for June Manzo, playing well scoring-wise the last 2 games. Sinimula ni Coach Franz Hierro, a pesky defender matching up against Manzo, but Manzo scores that time.
Chauca to his strong side, flips this one up. It's back rim. Chauca drops. Kobe picks him up. We're going the other way with June Manzo leading the break. Manzo, tipsy-do. No, Kobe and Bright. They converge in midair and lose the rebound.
Magbuhos with an excellent job right there. Bright rim running. And then Magbuhos with the help side trying to delay so that Duanga can come back. Led to the turnover.
Spencer is hounding Chauka. When Buhos comes out to relieve him. Jeric, smaller man's on him. They go back to Chauka. Chauka falls, drops it down to Duwanga, who gets the easy lay-in as Bright comes crashing on the floor again. Yamaha Mio, #1 move para kay Duwanga. There's a steal, there's a bucket, and there's a quick timeout as Perasol has seen enough. 9-2, the Adamson lead. There is a strong level of urgency with the Soaring Falcons to start this one. They're up 9-2 already with 2.5 having gone by. The words from Franz Pumarin ringing true for Adamson. They got a win over NU, and Coach Franz said, this doesn't mean anything. That was what Rain Matienzo told us. Christian, what's your insight on a message like that as they get another steal?
Well, it doesn't mean anything if they lose this one as Chauka continues to sizzle 7 points para sa kanya.
That is a pure gold always panalo move. 9 of the 11 Adamson points scored or assisted on by Val Chauka as Paras gets to the cup. No, Bright with a tip-in.
And that's the luxury that you have with Paras. Not only a driving force, but a magnet. That time drawing the defense, even though missing the layup. Akweti cleans it up.
Hierro running through the action.
Good pass.
Finds Duwanga, blocked by Kobe. Manzo underneath. That's going to be an offensive foul on Bright as Magbuhos got to the spot first.
Once again, this time he was the one guarding him as he was the first one back. This was the pick and roll that was blocked by Kobe. An excellent weak side defender.
McDonald's instant replay, you catch the defense there. And now you're down by 7 if you're UP. And now you put in Richie Rivero and Javi Gomez de Leaño. You get punched in the mouth to start off this game because an Adamson 5, as you see Chauka's averages. An Adamson 5 that's used to playing big minutes, starting minutes. You go up against a gimmicky first 5 that UP sent out there, and surprise, surprise, this is what happens.
Right, and now obviously forced is Coach Bo to bring out his strong 5 offensively. Richie, open shot, good pass by Paras.
Problem is, Adamson starting to get rolling, starting to get humming. Hanisi missed the 3. Lenda, offensive board, back out to Val.
UP doing a good job, not collapsing on Duwanga that time.
Chauka, air ball. Here's Javi on the run. Javi drops it off to Richie. Euro, short. A little too much finesse.
2 good looks by Richie, both from afar and at the rim. 0 for 2 to start.
Chauka, past 2 screens, goes baseline, lobs it up. Here's Magbuhos. Lenda, short little hook. That'll be short. Richie with a pull down. 11-4, and they want to go to Kobe against Magbuhos. They swing heavy, 3, too strong. Chauka hands it off to Vince. They want to go to Jeric. Ahanisi, floater, blocked by Akweti, but they say there's going to be a foul
on Jun Manzo.
On Manzo against the back of the head of Ahanisi, and that'll lead to 2 free throws for Jeric.
A good job by Adamson, not having the primary attack on Chauka. A little handoff action that led to Ahanisi. That time loves that 1-foot runner, especially going to his left. Got hit on the head. Got blocked by Akweti, but got hit on the head by Manzo from behind.
That's the one thing that we're seeing here so far. On those pick and rolls, Bright Akweti, one of the best hands in the league as a big man, getting into the cookie jar of those little guys when he's forced to switch out on him.
Right.
But he's an aggressive shower, and it's opened up a couple of opportunities already for Duwanga underneath.
And I think Adamson should do that more, especially after getting a stop on the other end. Because one of the toughest screens to guard is in transition, wherein coaches really teach by default is to sprint to the paint, to protect the paint, to prevent the fast break. And as you saw Chauka with the initiation of the drag screen, usually we see Akweti hedging out, and ayaw ng mga offensive teams yun because of the hands that you mentioned. Leads the team in steals in that category. But at that time, he sagged off, and Misi was able to get to the line eventually.
Hierro all over Richie. Tough pass by Rivero as we reach the Gatorade hydration checkpoint of the game. They're forced into this timeout. 12-4. Adamson leads by 8. Four to 12 is what the big board reads, as the same 10 stay on the floor for both Adamson and for UP. Half of the first quarter already gone as Coach Franz Kumaren, he's a BDO coach's winning ways. He's ahead by 8 here, and this is as good of a start as I'm sure he could imagine and he was planning for last night.
Both categories in terms of inside the perimeter points led now by Adamson, but that one ties it up on the reverse by Akweti, 6-6 in terms of points in the paint.
Akweti hedges out to Hierro. He forces a tough pass. Magbuhos recovers. 13 on the clock. Chauka dealing with pressure. Chauka gets away. Chauka to the cup, left it short. Magbuhos will have it stolen away. Counter steal. Here's Javi on the other end. Touchdown UP. Yellow cab end-to-end play of the game. And Chauka on the other end gets a quick one against UP.
And that's not a good sign, obviously, not only because of the points that Chauka has scored so far to start the game, but also how he has gotten himself inside the paint easily.
There's a foul underneath, away from the basket. They're going to charge this one on Hierro. Well, watch this. This was a steal by Richie. Hierro got in the way and landed in the lap of Kobe Paras, who sidearm passed that one straight to a first down.
So that was with the right shoulder. Side that he fell on. This was the drive by Chavka, uncontested. The earlier layup that he missed, also uncontested. That's a concern in terms of your interior defense.
And he's really a puzzle now for UP. You know, you want to be in his grill. You want to pressure him as he's handling the ball because of his threat as a three-point shooter. But he's been driving against that as Richie uncorks and barely grazes rim on that three. We go back Adamson's way.
A slow start for Richie after a great start in that second quarter. As we mentioned, 10 points in the second quarter in the last game. 0 for 3 to start this one.
Chauca takes a breather for Adamson as Jerome Lastimosa comes in. And at his best, when he's playing his best, Lastimosa almost as much of a problem as Chauca is. Different skill set, sure, as Hierro, second try, Duanga had it stripped from beneath him, off his foot, and UP gets lucky on that trip. Tungkab, Gomez Deliano, the older Gomez Deliano, is with Rivero, Paras, and Bright. They go to the MVP, Akweti, to Tungkab underneath.
Stepped out of bounds.
It was out of bounds. The turnover starting to pile up here for UP. They have 5 in the quarter. Sorry, that's four turnovers already with 3:30 left to play in the first. Tungkab will pick up Jerome. Tungkab.
What a fake.
What a head fake. Duanga, another offensive rebound for Adamson, and UP is getting killed on the boards.
That's a push on Javi.
Pushing foul number 22.
13 fouled para dito sa UP. They're 2 away from sending Adamson to the line.
AP Manlapas, as reported by Rain, had his best scoring game in the first round. 17 points, 15 of which came in the fourth and overtime period. Misi from deep range.
And Misi connects from the outside with a Vivo V17 shoot beyond limits. As smooth a jumper as there is in the UAAP.
Can't let him do that. There was a man in front of him, but a shooter like Misi, arguably one of the best we have for the last 2 seasons, gotta force him to put the ball on the deck.
And another turnover by UP. And this one, as simple a play as you can find. Short pin down for Misi. Knocks down the triple with Mav watching and approving. That's a foul on Rivero, trying to contain Jarek.
Holding foul number 25.
That will put them right behind the 8 ball when it comes to the penalty. So next foul will lead to Adamson free throws. Lastimosa looking for a friend, finds Magbuhos. Vince in a corner, dribbles out and gets it out to Jerome, who has 9 to work with. Lastimosa, that one will bounce off of, I think they're saying that one bounced off of Tungkab's foot, as once again, Akweti able to pressure the ball handler. Oh, it bounced off the back of Bright's foot as it rolled out of bounds. Here's Lenda against Bright. Duanga, Ahanisi, blocked by Rivero on the turn. Pass up ahead, here's Javi. Gomez Deliano uses all muscle, gets the bruise in a deuce. C2 fast break of the game. That's the second pitch ahead to Javi Gomez Deliano.
The front court of UP in Paras and Akweti has done an excellent job of looking ahead after getting the basketball. You see right here, another baseball pass with the right hand. This time, Akweti to Javi, 2+1 coming up.
That is weight room at work for Gomez Deliano. So UP, they haven't gotten much off the half court. But they've been able to take advantage of situations like that twice They've gotten Javi Gomez de Liano on the look ahead, and he's given them 5 points. 17-11. Sabandal will drop it off. That will stay with Adamson.
9.3 seconds.
So where will the offense come from with both Chauca and Anmisi, 2 leading scorers of the Falcons, on the bench now in the last 2 minutes of this first?
Franz will draw it up and talk about it as we head into this timeout. .203 left in the first period, as this one it's going by in a jiffy, Christian, as we're almost done with the first period. Camacho and Sabandal now on the floor para sa Adamson. They join Lastimosa, Duwanga, and AP Manlapas. Jerome to AP at the buzzer, airmailed.
Shot clock violation.
This was terrific individual defense, and this was the one we were talking about. Similar plays, same receiver, different passers in Paras and Bright.
Oh, that's just great work in the truck. Direk Abet Ramos at the helm. Take a look at Javi, how efficient he is. Second in the league in field goal percentage as Bright attacks Duwanga. No goal. Richie with an offensive board and chooses to pull it out.
Well, how about the defense by Duwanga? Sumabay siya kay Richie doon at the same time. Siya rin sumabay kay Richie, kay Bright. And they get the stop eventually. Siya ulit yung sumabay.
Richie falls down hard and comes up grimacing. Here's AP. Oh,
Gotta shoot that.
bad decision by Manlapas. Rivero hands it off to Kobe. Pass a little behind Kobe, as that is going to be a foul underneath. They're going to whistle it on Simon Camacho, trying to contain the rolling Bright Akweti.
And you can see Richie leading the break. Usually we see him confident enough to do something, but because he missed his first 3 shots, he wasn't looking for anything. He looked to pass to Kobe Paras and almost led to a turnover, and that right now, they will be on the baseline for this inbound.
Kobe will head to the bench. Will leave Bright as the only starter on the floor for both teams. Fermin has checked in for Akweti. And Bright looking to get to work. Richie underneath. Noah after the fake. Manlapas with a great defensive stop.
Great adjustment by France going into a zone on the inbound to prevent the chase.
Manlapas, that pass tipped away by Noah Webb. 10 on the clock for Lastimosa. Brushes off Tongkab. The jumper is up, no go. Another second serving para sa Adamson.
Tongkab so far doing a great job staying in front of Lastimosa.
Fermin, big boy 3, off to the left. Lots of contact, and it'll bounce out of bounds and head back to UP's way.
How about the effort by Bright right there? He was about 6 steps away. Could have given up on the play, but still sprinted, short sprinted to get a hand up on Fermin to eventually get this possession.
At some point, though, you're probably going to have to start thinking about when is Bright going to take a breather. There's no Duanga on the floor. You're not particularly deep in that position. JD against Manlapas. Still Tongkab in the post. Tongkab will step through a 3-second violation, and Bright Akweti is heated.
That's because nobody touched the ball apart from JD Tongkab, who's the primary point guard right now for UP pretty much the last 4 minutes. Turnover.
Chauca will re-enter the game. 7 giveaways for UP in the first period alone. Chauca will have 12 to work with and have Richie Rivera on him eyeball to eyeball. Richie trying to provide pressure, 6 to shoot, 5 to shoot. There's going to be a foul as Richie pokes that one away. And they are over the limit. That means free throws for Val Chauca, who's had himself a quarter. 9 points already for Val, and he has 2 on the way from the stripe.
Obviously not a good foul when you foul somebody that's 40 feet away with 6 seconds remaining. It's either you trust your own defense or you trust the help on that one instead of bailing the offensive player out for 2 freebies on the line.
That's a second personal on Richie as well, so
the free throws for Val Chauca.
you can expect his minutes to be a little limited moving forward.
Gotta love it.
First one up, first one is through for Chauca.
Gotta love the shake on the free throw. We've been seeing that since day one. Kay Valandre.
He shimmies that one through and goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. As Adamson has an 8-point lead here with 4.4 seconds left in the first. 11 in the first quarter for Chauca. Rivero to Javi, it's tapped away. And time will expire on the Maroons. As the Tongkab heave will not go, but it has been an excellent start for the Adamson Soaring Falcons on the shoulders of small man, big game Val Chauca. He and UP are tied at 11. We'll be back after this. Second quarter is set to begin here as Franz Pumaren and his Falcons currently sitting in 6th place of the tournament, looking to climb back in that Final Four picture. Well, they're not out of it, but a win here will definitely improve their chances and bring them up to 5-6 to tie with De La Salle.
Nico, story of the first quarter was really turnovers. 7 forced by Adamson on UP and converting it to 9 points on the other end.
Juan Gomez de Liaño is forced
Traveling
to travel
violation.
as the rookie Sabandal pressures Juan.
They're 8th in the game as they start the second with another turnover.
Chauca, 11 points, tied with UP. Manzo with a takeaway, had a hand in the cookie jar, and they're going to whistle for a foul.
Off the ball.
It's going to be on Juan.
Just about it was going to be a layup for Manzo. Maybe a split second earlier on the left side of the court. May nakita yung official natin.
You know, Juan Gomez de Liaño is the 11th player on the floor for the UP Fighting Maroons. Meaning 10 guys played before him, before
Right.
they said, maybe we want to put Juan in this game.
Obviously trying to squeeze out whatever he can get from his players, as this will be a blocking foul by Mojica. But really, if you look at it by the numbers, Nico, both teams a little short on their rotation. Adamson coming into this game, only 7 players averaging at least 14 minutes and above. Dawanga and Ahanmisi leading the charge at 30 plus minutes per ball game. For UP, 8 players averaging at least 14-15 minutes above. So medyo short ang rotation ito compared to the other 6 teams we have in the league.
Juan kicks it out. His drive bothered and interrupted. Manzo will have it. Manzo, running floater, will leave that one short. It lands in the hands of Jude Manzo, who goes up quick for the follow-up. And Manzo gets 2 across his name off a Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter. Camacho controls after that ball is tipped away. Joem against Juan. Prado comes out on Sabandal. Fermin has it ripped away by Noah Webb.
The poor decision that time by Fermin. Instead of popping, would have been better if you rolled to the basket and forced the weak side to rotate.
Juan in the corner. Sabandal on him.
That's great defense.
Juan trying to post up. 8 to shoot, 7 to shoot. Juan will be fouled.
Up until the last minute.
But there hasn't been a fluid half-court set so far here by UP, as Adamson has really shut down that option for the Fighting Maroons.
Which has been really the story offensively for this UP squad for the season. That, you know, continuity, fluidity, flow in the offense. For the most part of this season, we've seen them play in spurts.
Well, they're down 6 here as Javi comes off a screen. Corner 3 won't go. Fermin will pull it down for Adamson. Ahanmisi and Chauca back in the fold for the Soaring Falcons. Jerick. Javi
Mismatch on
comes
the
out
post.
to meet him. Jerick, stop, pop, 15-footer, no go. Fermin with a tip. Wala pa din. That is tapped out of bounds, and the effort by Aaron Fermin gets Adamson another possession.
Absolutely. He was the lone blue shirt out of the 4 or maybe 5 white shirts, and he wins that battle for this extra possession.
Adamson with 5 more shot attempts than UP here. A lot of those because of offensive rebounds, as Mojica will knock down a corner triple. Evo V17, shoot beyond limits. Edgy boy Mojica brings the lead back up to 9.
And the score is not going to credit Fermin, but you can credit that 3 because of the hand that he got in, the possession prior to get that extra possession for them to get a 3.
Juan. Little floating jumper will not drop. Ahanmisi has it tapped over to him. Jerick, stop and pop here. Ahanmisi leaves that one short.
That's a foul by Fermin underneath. Kobe just checked in a couple seconds ago.
Here's a shot by Ahanmisi. There's the foul by Fermin, but that was, the Maroons. The Neo in the Matrix bullet dodging there, as that would have been a massive 3 by Ahanmisi, and that's a shot he loves to take.
Well, 3 team fouls already against Adamson. 7:30 still to play. It's important for UP, instead of setting, to put their head down. You've been struggling of shooting the basketball. Better get to the line.
Paras inside. Oh, Kobe Paras to the other hand. What a flakes, kakaibang move as Chauka walks to the basket for a layup.
And this is the one we've been talking about to start the ball game, because you're not getting the same player offensively. Usually it creates a confusion on the other end.
Prado underneath, strong arms it. Prado one more time, one-hands it, and it was back rim. And here comes Adamson on the other side. Chance to make it a double-digit game. Camacho out to Mojica. Chauca wants it with Juan on him. There's a third defender he's going to deal with. Chauca to Hanisi. Fermin, big boy three. Off to the right. And Chauca almost got Adamson another possession there, as the Falcons have really done a masterful job crashing the offensive boards. But watch this move by Kobe Paras.
So he took off outside the free throw line. It uses that zero hop step, and lo and behold, he's at the rim.
Yeah, he hop stepped the ball over Val Chauca's head. You can't put a 5-foot-something guy on me, as Kobe uncorks a three, back rims it, and Noah Webb taps it over to Juan, who knocks down a three. That's a big one for Gomez de Leaño. He's someone who they need to get going.
Only their fifth attempt from downtown, compared to their multiple ones, was in double figures in terms of attempts already in their last game against USD.
Chauca, stop, pop, lost Noah Webb in the mix, smiles at the UP bench and shakes his head and going, well, this one's not working either. Go back to your bench, find someone who can stop me. Paras inside, Kobe all the way.
Now Kobe just willing for his team to hung around in this first half. Chauca
long jumper, and once again, he doesn't have a defender on him. He's shaking his head, he's laughing to himself as UP cannot find answers for Val Chauca. 28-20 heading into this timeout. $15 points already in the afternoon for Val Chauca. And 4 times already, Christian, he's brought the ball down on the right side of the floor and gotten an open layup. Fajibar, Obar sa saya, those were his teammates celebrating after one of those easy baskets by him. As Akweti drops it off to Merle, Kobe tracks it down, saves the possession. Kobe inside, left-handed, Duanga there to contest. Merle tracks it down. Here's Manzo. A rare multiple opportunity for UP. Here's Juan, out for 3. That's 2 for 2 for Juan Gomez de Leaño from three-point country as we hit the Gatorade hydration checkpoint. Guess who's open once again? That's Val Chauca. That's the 5th time. He missed this one. Manzo got to it in time, but that's the 5th time he's walked into an open shot. 17 points already for Chauca as we head into this timeout. 28-23 is the score with 4:53 left here in the second period.
19 seconds.
Adamson sending out Chauka and Ahanisi with Camacho, Mojica, and Duanga. Mojica, open look. Misses that one poorly. Here's Kobe. Dribbled it through Chauka and fortunate enough to get free throws.
Did he dribble that in between the legs?
And Chauka's laughing because he just got nutmegged.
Right? Intentionally, we got to see that again.
If it happens and you pull it off, then yes, you do it. That's what you say. You say it was intentional, but Kobe's still complaining the ball was a little slippery.
And the line.
By the way,
And how rare does that happen? 6'7", dribbling it between the defender on a, 5'10", 5'11" guy. It's usually the other way around.
yeah, Val Chauca's 5'11" in high heels, sure, and I'm 6'5".
Trying to be nice.
That's a compliment to him. He's completely decimated this UP defense. Imagine if he was 6'2". Kobe will make both free throws. This is the closest UP has been in a minute, 28-25. Chauca dealing with the press, gets it to Camacho. And Juan will telegraph it. It's with Kobe. Over to Manzo.
Good decision.
And June will set the table. Right underneath, that's a bump.
That's a foul.
Camacho will be whistled for the foul. And Simon was blindsided by a rolling Akweti.
Pushing foul number 10. Simon
Because
Camacho,
Adamson is over the
second
limit
personal.
with a little less than
Yellow for
halfway
MB
already in the
Mojica.
second quarter. This is the one we were talking about as we see Juan, 6 points, all coming from deep range. But 16% to the season so far. You just got to hope that that's a good sign for you, not only in the first half, but also moving towards the second.
Akweti makes the first. Now the numbers on the season for Bright, 14, 12. And the reigning MVP, 6'2" from the stripe. Adamson in a drought here. Chauca wide open again. And back rimmed as the well is starting to dry up for Val Chauca.
And even if it's the miss, obviously you can't be happy if you're Coach Bo leaving Chauca only after one pass. But they get the stop nonetheless and has a chance to take the lead.
Manzo to Merle. Kobe is still having a hard time controlling that leather. Here's June, drives inside. Manzo, push shot will not drop, and Duanga will clean it up for Adamson. Here's Val, inside. Val finds Jerick. Ahanisi, short jumper is up, that will not drop, and the ball. Oh, look at Bright Akweti dive for it. Here's Juan Gomez de Leaño to Kobe. Slam! Bam! Thank you, ma'am! Manulife Vision, player of the game. And UP is all the way back. And now ahead by one, 29-28, off of a massive Kobe jam. Well, the Fighting Maroons have mounted a run and have taken the lead back 29-28 as the Falcons have found themselves coming up dry in the last few possessions. And a huge highlight by Kobe Paras Well, check out the dive by Bright first. Manzo with a give ahead, and then Juan knowing who was behind him and what he's capable of. That right shoulder looks fine to me. Jeric, open three, back rimmed. Hierro, offensive rebound, left the floater short. And Adamson on this 9-0 run by UP. Adamson's just missing makeable shots as Manzo gets rejected from behind by Hierro.
Right. You know, the shot by
15
Chauca miss.
seconds on the
A
shot
nice
clock.
play off a timeout by Coach Franz. A little floppy play to free up Anmisi in the corner. But that's the breaks of the game. UP, though, taking advantage. Let's see what they have here.
Here's Bright, full head of steam. Out to Juan. Juan, third three. This one a miss.
Again, dropping into that zone after the out of bounds under by UP. Little zone
Chauca,
also.
another three. This one back rimmed as Val, after that hot start, has missed his last few
Shot
attempts.
bucket, 14 seconds.
These extra possessions are big. Whether you get a hand in or secure the offensive rebound, as long as you have another attempt. That's Adamson's 8th offensive rebound.
Magbuhos steps into that jumper. It's off the bank and it's good. Lead back with the Soaring Falcons.
And also their 8th second chance points.
They have been feasting on the offensive boards. Here comes the Manzo and Bright pick and roll. No, they go back door. Paras saves it. Merle for three. That will not go, and the broken play by UP leads to no points. And Hierro is coming down. Here's Duanga, 16-footer. Quick trigger on that mid-ranger.
Wrong guy, wrong shot.
Merle to Paras. Coco drives baseline. Kobe with a fade. They will say that it will not count. And the
No
bump was
basket.
before Paras went up for the jumper. It'll be 2 free throws nonetheless, though, as Adamson's in the penalty.
Kobe loves driving baseline, especially going to his left, and he saw that nobody was there, did the right thing, especially with Adamson over the limit since the 4:30 mark of this quarter. This will be their 5th and 6th free throw of the quarter compared to having only one in the first.
It's been a different
Paras.
set of guys on the floor as well for UP. This combination,
That's been the best so far.
especially with now with Javi on the floor. This, if you count total number of minutes and seconds that UP's had, arguably quote-unquote their best 5 on the floor.
That's because, sorry about that, Nico, that's because Javi can stretch the floor.
That's right.
Now, Merle is a terrific defensive player and does a lot of things, obviously, of defending the best player on the other team. But when Javi's inside, a capable defensive player and can stretch the defense offensively, what a move.
Chauca. Oh, what a find as Magbuhos came streaking down. Here's Bright on the quarterback play. Oh, what a toss. By the way, the Magbuhos shot was a master play of the game. And that one was a Hail Mary. Aaron Rodgers would be proud of that one.
You know, coaches say, you're right, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But coaches say your eyes make layups. What a play by Bright, even though pushed from behind by Duanga. Anmisi, cold-blooded though, to answer back.
How good is that? Slices through the top layer of that 2-3 zone, gets to his spot, and pulls up perfect form.
You like the fact, though, even with the momentum by the Maroons, Adamson not getting caught in the moment right here.
What
What a
shot
shot
by Juan Gomez de Leaño as he answers back and ties us back to 34. Well, we got to give ourselves a game now. Here's Chauca. Over to Jeric. Underneath, Magbuhos. Hierro, he will rise up for 3. Will back rim that one. Shot attempt by Duanga, no go. And Bright able to tap it from the ground. And bounce it off of Lenda Duanga. Check out the McDonald's instant replay here of the layup earlier by Magbuhos. But the play really is Bright Tacueti on the floor, tapping it out of Lenda Duanga's hands.
Nang nakahiga na.
And bouncing it off of Lenda.
And getting the possession right here. You see Val Chauca 7 of 9 to start, 0 for 5 after that.
One to the cup, left hand, right with a cleanup. And Akweti with a Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter. Here's
Just the heart and
Mabuhos.
soul of this team is
Yero, open three, knockdown. And the lead swings back to Adamson.
And that's a big shot because not only you get the lead, but because it was early in the clock, you get another possession if you secure this one by Adamson.
High screen and roll, Manzo and Bright. Manzo to Juan for three, too strong. Ball is up, ball is loose, Chauca saves it to Akweti. Bright inside, finds Paras, Paras with a fake. And Paras to Bright, he'll run out of time. As that will mark the end of the second period, and Adamson will hold on to their lead, 37-36. As Bright Akweti is spent. Well, we all need a breather. Adamson and UP, they've had 4 lead changes so far. It's a halftime break that everybody is in need of right now. We'll be back with more. Welcome to the half, folks. Big board reads 36-37 as we go around the Inares Center in Antipolo to meet our PS Bankable fan of the game. Deposit checks in a snap with PS Bank Mobile. Download now. Oh, the face paint has made it to Antipolo. We invite you to get 10% off on selected UAAP merchandise items today. Visit UAAPstore.com now and flex your school spirit. That's UAAPstore.com. And kapamilya, commute warrior ka ba sa ABS-CBN TV Plus Go? Masusurvive mo na ang stress ng araw-araw na traffic, haba ng pila at hassle ng commute. Catch the UAAP live as it airs. No data charges while watching. Follow TV Plus Go on Facebook to know more. Finally, you can catch all the UAAP Season 82 men's basketball action on iWant. Just download the iWant app or go to www.iwant.ph/sports and watch the games live and on replay anytime, anywhere. We'll take a break and break down the numbers for you after this. 20 game minutes down, 20 more to go. We'll get to that in a second, but let's first check on what went down in quarters 1 and 2. Big board reads 36-37. Good day to all our UAAP fans. I'm with Christian Luanzo. My name is Nico Ramos. We'll hear from Yanni Mayo and Rain Matienzo in a second, but a hot start by Val Chauca was truly the story for Adamson in that first period.
Well, obviously, a better adjustment in the second quarter by UP after that 11-point first quarter start by Val Chauca, resulted into an 8-point lead after 10 minutes of play. But, you know, getting gritty, I thought, was the key for UP. Winning pretty much the loose balls in the second quarter. We saw, you know, the loose ball rebounds or the steals that led to the easy layups on the other end. And I think they need more of that for them to take the lead or maybe take control of this game in the second half.
Well, in the second quarter, Chauca still started out hot, but Kobe Paras and company made a game out of it. And, you know, getting to the paint, getting to the free throw line, not to mention Juan Gomez de Leaño, who entered the game in the second quarter, had himself 8 points. And that really allowed for us to have 4 lead changes in that second period, a total in this game. And, you know, it allowed for UP to threaten that Adamson lead a few moments and have it actually have that lead for a few spurts, but then Adamson doing just enough to have a 1-point lead at the end of 2.
Well, number 1 in the league in terms of points in the paint pretty much the whole season has been UP. And obviously, teams will sag off. Teams will try to shrink the paint. So anytime you make those outside shots, I thought those were 2 big shots. Not only confidence-wise for Juan, but to really open up the defense. That's why they got to the line. As we look at the numbers right here, you know, the starter points for Adamson, 25 of the 34 points came from Chauca, who had 17 and 8 from Ahan Misi. The bench, though, we talked about this in the pregame. Lastimosa, Camacho, and Manlapas, who had 37 of the 40 bench points in the last game. Wala, itlog sila nung first half. Kaya 3 points lang sila. And I thought UP just did a tremendous job of flipping the turnover story. 7 turnovers in the first quarter, result down by 8. 1 turnover in the second quarter, result down by 1.
And, you know, Chauca started off hot, 7 of 9 shooting, and then his next 5 shots after that,
0 for 5.
all misses. So as soon as, you know, he starts shaking his head and, you know, smiling at that UP bench, he got himself the good looks, he got himself opportunities, but has been unable to hit his last 5 attempts. So you can only expect that he's going to come out firing still in the third quarter. That's just the kind of player he is. Whether he'll catch fire or not is something I'm sure that Yanni Mayo and the rest of the UP Fighting Maroons talked about at the half. So Yanni, go ahead. What did you hear?
A while ago, Nico and Chris, you mentioned that UP plays in spurts. This is what exactly Coach Bo said prior to the game in the dugout, that they still have yet to have a game where they are consistent all throughout. Now, the repeated phrase here on the bench is, do not panic, because when they do, they tend to rush and not execute plays. Right, Akweti was frustratedly explaining a play in the bench and then said to the guys, so what are you doing? Jun Manzo shouted in a timeout that they aren't winning because they aren't listening. But true to what you guys said, UP picked up their energy in the second quarter. Coach Bo said that they are becoming faster than Adamson, and he exclaimed that a while ago they were chasing them, but now Adamson is chasing UP. They have to consistently be aggressive on defense and find their fluidity connecting that to their offense. But looks like Juan Gomez de Leaño's practice has been paying off as he has been consistently working on his 3-point shots. Nico and Chris.
Well, thanks a lot, Yanni. We'll stay tuned to see if that 3-point shot continues to hit for Juan Gomez de Leaño. I'm sure it's a welcome sight for that coaching staff ng UP to have perimeter scoring on their end. You mentioned they're top in the league when it comes to paint points in the paint. Perimeter scoring coming by way of Gomez de Leaño is something I'm sure is a welcome addition to that UP offense. Let's go to the other side of things and go to the Adamson courtside reporter. That is Miss Rain Matienzo, who has more. Go ahead, Rain.
I like the fight, pero kulang pa, Nico and Christian. That is what Coach Don Aliado said as soon as the Falcons were able to enter the dugout. Early in the huddles, ang hinihingi din ni Coach Franz Pumaren sa kanila is to push the ball right away. The coaches also acknowledge that UP is definitely known to make crazy shots, but they encourage the boys to not let this rattle them. As it is the same 2-pointers that they can also take. We started good as instructed by the coaches, but like when the season opened, Coach Franz has the Falcons realize that Val cannot be the only anchor to this flock despite having 17 points already. And as we have seen, he lost some heat during the late second quarter. Now the next half will be interesting as Adamson has always had the third to be their lowest scoring quarters. But like Coach Fran said, as always, we will hustle back to start this half and hopefully end up with a victory. Nico and Christian?
Well, thanks a lot, Rain. That's a great observation. Just going by averages, Adamson doesn't do well coming out of the halftime break, and that's something that obviously they're very much well aware of, and that's something that they're looking to address, especially noting that, okay, we had a breakout first half from Val Chauca. Can't be the only guy.
And you can go back to what Coach Fran said before this game, that their last win would mean nothing if they don't get this one. And obviously, ball games are won in the second half, no matter how well you started in the first.
Well, Koho creating beautiful plays. And Val Chauca was a highlight factory in that first period. But Jun Manzo pitching this one ahead to Juan Gomez de Leaño, who left it back for Kobe Paras. So that one will add on to what is already a very hefty highlight reel for season 82 of players going above the rim and smashing it down, throwing it down hard. Oh, we will check. I don't know if they've kept an official,
We better have big memories. Dapat at least 1 terabyte yan.
I'm not sure if they've officially kept count of total dunks in a season, but season 82 should definitely be very much high up there. By the way, a great friend of ours and a great leader in the UAAP community is our executive director, Attorney Rebos Sagisag, who's celebrating his birthday today.
Happy birthday, ED.
One of the hardest workers that deliver the UAAP to us and so many fans. One of the main movers behind the scenes is ED Rebos Sagisag. Turned 31 today. Imagine how accomplished he is at such a young age.
How about the transformation in terms of his fashion also? That to me has stood out from season 82 compared to 81.
Millennials these days.
Alam mo naman.
All right, Chauca will get things started as he receives the ball, and Adamson will have first crack at the basket. Magbuhos, Hierro, Ahanmisi, and Duwanga.
And UP starts off with pretty much a matchup zone to start. Ito yung pinahuli nila sa second quarter. Found some success there.
And Bright Takweti trying to get away with a kick as he tapped that one with his foot. The UP starting this one with Manzo, Juan Gomez de Leaño, Kobe Paras, Bright Takweti, and David Merle as they change up the starters from the first quarter and elect to infuse a couple new guys in their third quarter starters.
Well, let's see if Chauca still has the hot hand in the first half of the first round against UP. He had 17 in the first half, but finished the game with 21. And that's because Manlapas had a big game with 17. Has not seen action much in this game. Is Manlapas, only 3 minutes.
Duwanga with the eye in the sky lob catch, but unable to stay in bounds as UP forces a turnover.
Oh, what a screen by Merle.
Merle just decked out Vince Magbuhos. So Magbuhos is down and hurt in a bad way as Duwanga gets a block. Ahanmisi, and this play will have to get halted as Magbuhos got blindsided by that pick. Well, here's Kobe trying to break the press. Magbuhos has all eyes on Paras, the ball handler.
Right.
Merle was a wall that Magbuhos just ran into.
And with screens like that, especially on the move, we didn't see it live and even in the replay. But, you know, that has to be on the screener's defender. At that time, it was Jerick Ahanmisi to make his teammate alert by saying that there's a screen. Not sure if he did that or not, but nonetheless resulted for Magbuhos going down and getting subbed out.
Well, he's holding on to his shoulder, so it seems like the pain, I think, is there on his right shoulder there. So if you're a lip reader, he's saying gumagalaw. So he's, well, the risk there is possibly dislocation. Not saying that's good, but at least it's not a head whiplash type of an injury for Magbuhos. We expect to see him back in this one. Hierro, emergency pass. Camacho for 3 in the corner, and Simon Camacho gets a big triple.
So that's big. Not only because they extended to 4, but confidence-wise, we mentioned the 3 of them. Lastimosa were 0 in the first half.
1. Little floater is good, and 1. As Merle was able to break the press himself, it leads to a Jollibee 100%, the amazing move of the quarter.
16 points per game. Last season had 6 points in the first half, and he starts off the third quarter with a 3-point play.
Kobe returning the favor. The assist earlier to Juan. And this time it's Juan who's the beneficiary, but he misses the bonus.
Check that, he had 8 in the first half. So has a total of 11 for Juan.
Duanga underneath. Duanga against the smaller Merle. And that's a press break for you as UP once again goes to the long ball. And Hierro and Bright go crashing into the stands. Adamson able to stop this fast break try by the Fighting Maroons. McDonald's instant replay, you catch it there as Hierro was able to telegraph that long ball.
Great read by MB right there, preventing the lob on Paras on the inbound. Manzo
Gets a big triple to go, and it's down to a 1-point lead again.
What a shot that was, right between the eyes of a Blue Falcon.
Oh, and Hierro was not looking as Ahanmisi was looking for him as the release pass on the break.
Now, this is a gutsy shot by Manzo. Because of the quick outlet, even after Adamson scored, that means UP had a full 23-second shot clock, and after one pass, Manzo drains it.
If you make it, it's a good decision.
It's a good shot.
Manzo, heat check. Back-to-back hits for Jude Manzo. Domino's Pizza, what a delivery play. Chauka trying to break free. 10 to work with. Val for 3. Chauka will back rim that one. He gets it back. Hierro will lose it. Hierro watches as Bright comes down and dives for it. It's with Juan Gomez de Liano. Juan for 3. Off the board, wide to the left.
Not a good shot. 2 versus 4 on the break.
Here's Chauka with a spin. Chauka, emergency pass. Camacho out to Jeric. Chauka thought about the 3, gets closer, shoves it inside. Camacho blocked by Akweti. Here's Kobe on the run, goes behind the back. Paras, hop step, Paras to the cup, no! And Camacho cannot control, and it will stay UP ball as Bright Akweti finally gets up on the other end.
Well, he's been ultra aggressive on the defensive end, and this was the second 3 of Manzo. Kung yung una nga na-shoot niya may pantay, at that time, no blue shirt near him, knocks it down. And how about Bright Akweti? We gotta count how many times he's been on the floor. The intangibles, the game within the game. Bright has been doing that.
Merle receives. Manzo wanted that one. Jude with a drive. Manzo stops, kicks it out. Merle. Coco, corner, 3, no.
Beautiful play by UP on the pass back by Manzo, putting on the brakes for the ball swing all the way up to the other end.
Hierro for 3. That will be short. Merle tried to get it, but Duanga came crashing in as Chauka tips that one as it stays Adamson's side. And Nisi knocks down a triple as he found himself open. Manulife Vision player of the game.
The hardest 3 to guard is either after an offensive rebound or when the defense is in a scramble. Kobe Paras has to force Ahanmisi to dribble the basketball.
Kobe drives against Ahanmisi.
That's a foul.
That's gonna be a foul, and one more time Paras makes his way to the free throw line, and Duanga is asking for an offensive call on Kobe, but in rhythm, perfect spot. The catch was perfect, and Ahanmisi, to no one's surprise, knocks down an open triple.
The closeout was there, as we saw on Paras. Problem is, it was half-hearted. On the closeout, it was a late hand-up already on a guy like Ahanmisi. You got to get your hand up even on the short sprint all the way up to the offensive player to make him at least think twice on the shot and make him hesitate. But that time, Ahanmisi, one of the best in the catch and shoot situations.
Kobe trying to get to double figures here. Misses the first free throw. 1 point advantage for Adamson. Well, both teams have stuck with their fives here to start off the second half as Kobe left that one short. The only sub so far has been Manlapas coming in for Hierro. Jerick with it. Jerick, another three. This one off to the right. And
What a
Camacho
rebound.
with an offensive rebound and a putback.
Probably got 2 rebounds on that one. Tipped it to himself and then cleans it up. What a pass.
Right underneath. Oh, Bright left that one short as the contested layup will not drop. Here's Chauca rolling for Adamson. Duwanga rejected by Paras.
Spike swat.
What a look by Val Chauca. And Duwanga didn't see Bright and said, I'm gonna take this one through easy pickings. Kobe said, nope, not this one. Nuh-uh. Jerick to Simon.
Better
Swing
close
it.
out on Paraso on Misi that time.
Chauca gets away. Chauca drop pass.
Wow.
Camacho again.
Camacho with assist.
PS Bankable assist of the game. Parang PS Bank personal loan na maasahan. Apply online. No collateral.
Scoreless in the first half. 7 already for the first 5 minutes is Camacho. What an impact.
Foul on Duwanga in the post against Bright Dakweti, and Lento Duwanga is heated. He hasn't liked the calls, whether called against him or a couple he feels weren't called. And he picks up his second personal here. But Adamson re-establishing a 5-point lead thanks to Simon Camacho
14 seconds on the shot clock.
and his prowess of being sneaky underneath and getting to that perfect spot.
Well, Simon Camacho has seen his playing time increase significantly compared to last season. A lot of games this season, he has played over 30 minutes.
There you see Jesmer Ramos, Isa Molde, and Ayel Estranero from the volleyball team of the Fighting Maroons cheering on their schoolmates. Paras, the floater is good.
Straight line drive right there on the catch on the free throw line. Poor job by AP Manlapas, not staying in between the offensive player, but this time binawi niya sa kabila.
And again, UP's cross-matching left the guy open. This time it was Manlapas who knocked it down for a triple. Gatorade hydration checkpoint of the quarter as Paras once again gets 2 on the drive.
The best left-handed finisher for a right-handed.
That's a What a Flakes kakaibang move. Lead is down to 4 as we head into this timeout. 48-52 as Adamson is keeping UP at bay as the bench has shown up. We were mentioning it earlier.
Atin to.
Paul Desiderio is on hand, the former UP captain. But we talked about Camacho and Manlapas at the top of the coverage. We talked about them at the half saying they're zeroed out, no points from them. The last 7 points of Adamson coming from both those guys right on cue.
Camacho has took advantage of the matchup zone, just finding the gaps with those smart cuts. But a smart shot by Ahan Misi, pretty much his go-to move anytime he puts the ball on the deck.
Juan over to Richie, forward pass, Kobe, 2-on-1 time. Paras, wanted to jam that one through.
He's a bad man.
Had bad boy intentions. Chauca to Manlapas with a layup. It's a costly miss for UP.
4-point swing.
Juan gets it to Kobe. Kobe takes a breather, shoots a three, knocks it down. Paras is keeping them in this one.
At that time, did not force the issue. Chaucado forces this one up. Still a lot of clock on the shot clock. UP will have another crack right now.
Kobe inside, lost it on the way up with a left-handed layup. Manlapas, Bright trying to bother him. They go to the corner. Chauca, Camacho blocked by Bright. They say there's a foul.
Afterwards, got him on the wrist, I believe. That's worth another look. Good touch passing by Richie. This one, Duwanga didn't want any part of that, but this led to the layup.
That was a good business decision by Lenda Duwanga. That was a smart investment by him. And
this is the open shot.
Misses the dunk, gets the three. So Paras will sit down. Javi will check in, Manzo will re-enter.
So that he can finish the fourth. Will come in probably at that 7 or 8 minute mark, which will give him, depending on what happens as UP is down by 5 right now. If this lineup inside for the Maroons can keep this lead like this, can hang around or maybe even take the lead, you buy more minutes for Paras on the bench.
You got to find some minutes to rest Bright as well, as he's been out there for a huge chunk of this game. Manzo blocked by Duwanga as Duwanga saw that one-footer coming.
Great closeout by Lastimosa and Manzo after hitting two three-point shots. Camacho, what a big quarter for him.
Yamaha Mio #1 move, and Simon Camacho has killed UP on that baseline. Here's one, 15-footer, back rimmed. Javi taps it over to the wrong guy. And this press, this trap by Adamson,
paying dividends.
Given them the distance they've needed. They're up 7. Camacho for 3. Off the mark. And here comes one in a rush. Manzo to Bright. Jerome had a hand on it, and it will stay with UP with 18 to shoot.
So 2 back-to-back defensive plays by Lastimosa. First, the closeout on the other side on Manzo led to the block and the fast break. This time, getting a hand in on the rim running Akweti to set up their defense right now with UP with the out-of-bounds under.
The opportunity now for Adamson to break this one open as Tongkab knocks down a 3.
Coach France is livid. Kakapuri lang natin. Kay Lastimosa, caught sleeping, ball watching. That time, Tongkab open.
Again, the baseline's open, and again, that's an easy basket for Adamson. This time, a Lastimosa floater.
Yun ang kagandahan doon. Binawi mo kagad sa kabila. Buys you more minutes individually. Steal.
Here's Sabandal. Sabandal. And Javi will come away with it. Javi in a rush. Joem chasing him. Manzo, corner 3. No go. Akweti will have that one tapped out. Jerome Lastimosa will track it down, and here come the Falcons. Camacho, reverse. Simon Camacho with a massive third period. Points and points in the paint for Simon Camacho. And what a quarter he's having. We'll head into this timeout and be back with more. BDO coaches winning ways as Coach Bo Perasol trying to coach his team back now from this 8-point deficit. You see Bright Taqueti, his sneakers are off. Well, this is, well, his prescribed rest time. End of the third quarter, we don't expect to see him here until back in the fourth, but taking a very deep breath is Bright. Kobe's back on the floor.
And Nico, possibly a 30-point quarter for Adamson, outscoring UP 25-18 after not getting at least in the 20-point mark in the first two. And Camacho, after being scoreless, we mentioned 5 of 7 with 11 points, all in the third.
And 13 of the last 25, he's either scored or assisted on.
Box in one on Paras right now. Camacho checking him.
Richie, step back three, and Rivero knocks down a triple.
That's big. You get a stop right here. Suddenly you're on a mini run, possibly a silent run, as they will have first possession to start the fourth.
Oh, Lastimosa got away. Lastimosa with a sneaky spin and an easy lay.
But they don't get the stop.
Kobe behind the back. Kobe, got mobbed by Lenda Duanga in the face. But action continues. Lastimosa, two-man game with Duanga. Jerome still with it. They go to the post. Kobe on Lenda. Duanga, the spin. Duanga in a crowd. AP, three, short. A great defense there by UP in the post against Duanga. Here's Tongkab to the basket. Threw it away.
Control.
Oh, an easy steal by Jerome. Lastimosa waiting for Lenda, who's taking his time to cross the timeline for Adamson. Lastimosa to the cup, had it stripped away. Ball is loose, Camacho finds it. Camacho flips it up, no go, and it will go to UP with 26.8 left in the quarter in a 7-point game.
2-second differential, game clock and shot clock.
Rivero over to Manzo. They get it across. It's in the hands of Javi Gomez de Liano. Javi inside, blocked by Camacho.
Get up for the last shot. Not a good decision that time, as UP could have had the last say to this quarter, but instead Adamson can extend this lead.
They give Adamson a free try, a free look at the basket, and a Jerome Lastimosa layup.
And that's how poor of a shot that was, as you see Manzo right now talking to Javi.
Adamson expands their lead back up to 9, 66-57. It's a 9-point game as we enter the final period. The story of that third quarter, Simon Camacho. You came looking for him, Christian. Well, he shot a flare up into the sky and said, well, here I am. 11 points in the quarter in 17 minutes of action for Simon Camacho, but all of those 11 in that third period.
And also, Lastimosa, who was also scoreless in the first half, had 6, so that's 17 of the 29 points from your two bench guys. Now, we saw the stat, only 3 in the first half for the bench points for the Falcons, and they have answered right back as Richie drives.
Richie misses the layup. Lastimosa with another big board. They've matched their biggest lead of this game and are looking to expand it. AP against Manzo. AP on his own. Emergency pass to Lastimosa. Richie trying to catch up to it. Rivero completes the steal. And Rivero will bounce that one out of bounds off of Sabandal, as Richie was foul hunting, but no whistle was called.
Well, how about the transition defense that time by Adamson? You see Camacho right there even after what seemed to be a layup already for Richie.
McDonald's instant replay as the crowd is reacting to the replay of Richie bouncing that ball off of Sabandal's face. Richie and Joem make peace. Bo Perasol is arguing a case with the referees. And I think Bo is going to get a warning here.
You know, we can rave about especially how Chauca has scored to start this game, but really the intangibles, Adamson has done an excellent job sprinting hard, getting hands on the basketball as Kobe.
Oh, what a reverse by Paras. A little too much jelly. Kobe gets it back. But Camacho is able to track it down. AP forward pass. Lastimosa, they got a 3-on-2. Jerome to the basket. Kulang. Fermin blocked from behind by Javi, but one more try. Aaron Fermin and one as he got a foul.
Down the basket.
Oh, what an effort by the second unit by Adamson. It's not Chauca, it's not Duanga, it's not Ahantisi, it's been Lastimosa, Camacho, and now Aaron Fermin looking to join the party.
His first 2 points in the ball game, even more than that, has been a presence on the defensive end since the start of this ball game. Has given Duanga, you know, a quality rest with his minutes inside the floor, and that time on the 3-on-2. Taking advantage on Javi as he was ball watching that time as he completes the 3-point play.
It's now the biggest lead for Adamson, up to a dozen. Juan, Richie, June, Kobe, and Noah, the 5 for UP. Joem, Aaron, Jerome, Simon, and AP for Adamson. Rivero, mid-range jumper, that's short.
Not so much movement that time, hand in his face on the shot by Rivero.
Lastimosa gets the switch, has Kobe, asks for the ISO. They clear it out for him. Jerome drives baseline, blocked by Paras.
6.9 seconds on the shot clock.
Oh, Bright Taqueti on the bench with 8:23 to play. You see the numbers there, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. And Simon's going to be whistled for a walk. That pivot foot slip. So we saw Bright without his sneakers earlier. They said they looked at, I think, putting an ankle support on one of his feet. We'll see if and when he comes back to this one. Right now it's Noah Webb, the 5 guy for UP. Here's Paras, lost it on the way up. Chance to add to a 12-point lead. Sabandal inside, finds Fermin. Fermin will use his heft, will miss. Webb will track it down, and June Manzo will set the table for UP.
Terrific collapsing defense that time by Webb and Richie Rivero to make that a difficult shot for Fermin.
Juan, over to June. To the corner they go. Now inside, Kobe, snapped out. Juan, long jumper, up and through as Juan Gomez de Leaño adds to his total with a Jollibee 100%. The amazing move of the quarter.
Just about, he was silent pretty much the whole third quarter after those 8 points in the first. Knocks down his first 3 here in the fourth.
Duanga, Ahanisi, Akweti all ready to check in. Sabandal, big 3 coming. And big 3 delivered for the rookie.
What a gutsy shot that was by Sabandal. His first points, I believe.
Kobe to answer back, way too strong. Noah finds it underneath. Noah will be fouled by AP Manlapas, and Webb will take a trip to the line for 2.
Now look at this one. Well, this was the 3 as Sabandal slipped going to his right. A little handoff action, 1 dribble, pull up. That's a gutsy shot for a guy before that shot has not scored yet. Chalka loving it, has been scoreless in the second half after those 15 big points in the first.
At 17 in the first 2
17,
quarters.
yeah.
He's getting ready to check back in here together with Hanisi and Duanga. It looks like Bright Akweti will have to wait for until after Noah Webb.
And that's how big this bench of Adamson has been. 3 points in the first half, but 6 minutes, a little under the 7-minute mark here in the fourth. 23 already, 20 in the second half. And not only the production to extend this lead into double figures, you give Chauka and Ahanmisi, your 2 leading scorers, fresh legs coming in to finish this ball game.
Yeah, you're right. And now, you know, they have all the juice in those legs for the final 6:57.
Our official score, UP 60, Adamson 72.
So they've changed the score here. So it's 60-72 is the official score as Noah misses the first. .8 on the year, 2.7 on the rebounding side for Webb. Those are his averages. Gets a second free throw to drop. And it's Richie Rivero who will draw the assignment on Val Chauca. Chauca now has Bright. Duanga wants it. Chauca, crossover, pull-up jumper, still nothing. Noah, handoff to Richie. Richie for 3, hand in his face, no problem. As Rivero knocks down a triple and Franz Pumaren is calling a timeout before this even becomes something else. 64-72 heading into this one. the 2019 SEA Games. We want to talk about that. The Philippines plays host with the theme We Win as One. The opening ceremony is on November 30th, Saturday, and you can expect to catch SEA Games action right here on SNA Liga, sports.abs-cbn.com, and I Want Sports. Adamson has the ball. Duwanga out on an island, gets it to Camacho, handoff to Chauca. Chauca navigates through the screen. Chauca trips, falls. Ahanisi with it, escapes. Camacho at the buzzer, no go, and Noah Webb will collect the rebound for UP.
Got into their offense late, forced a rush shot. Beating the shot clock by a split second was Adamson.
Manzo, Bright, pick and roll. Akweti to the corner. Richie, another three, short.
We heard a
gonna
tweet,
whistle.
yeah.
They're gonna call a foul on Camacho and give Richie Rivero 3 free throws.
Number 10, Simon Camacho.
So once a scorer, always a scorer. Yun ang mentalidad ni Richie Rivero. Started this game struggling, as you see the numbers by Juan. A season high for him, 13 points after averaging close to 16 of what was a mythical team selection last season. Richie, on the other hand, a former mythical team member himself 2 seasons ago, has pretty much been struggling the whole season. Has struggled to start this game, but has come out firing here in the second half.
This is the second, has one more on the way. 7 points in the afternoon for Rivero. UP trying to mount another comeback as they've done multiple times in season 82. Adamson trying not to fall victim to that ploy twice in the same year. Lead stays at 7. Chauca gave it away. Manzo, touchdown.
Oh, what a great job by Manzo, playing Ahanmisi off the ball. And with the anticipation for the steal and the layup, let's see if UP can build some momentum right here with another one.
Chauca refuses the screen. Chauca gets away. Left-handed floater. Big basket by Val Chauca as he's finally able to add to his first half total. 19 now in the evening for Val.
He's been the heartbreak kid, not only in this game, for pretty much the whole season against the other teams.
We're at the Gatorade hydration checkpoint as Rivero threw it away. And Manzo is caught without real estate.
What a timely basket that was. His first field goal in the second half. After scoring 17 in the first, 19 in total right now, and he has the basketball.
Chauca with it. Chauca
Poor pass.
throws it away. Webb able to telegraph that one easily. Here's Juan. Juan Gomez de Leaño to the basket. The fade. 1 foot fader is good for Juan Gomez de Leaño.
What a creative shot that was. He knew that Duwanga was there waiting for him to block the shot. Created separation.
Slips. Manzo on him. And they're going to whistle for a jump ball, and it'll stay Adamson's side. Oh, but Jun Manzo defensively in this quarter, trying to will back his Fighting Maroons.
Well, this was the play by Juan. You see the nudge, creating separation. And the 1 foot leg.
He was standing on the side of that right foot. And Manzo diving for this one. Couldn't find an exit pass, but forced a jump ball. The arrow now will point to UP, so on the next occurrence, the Maroons will have possession. Here's Lastimosa, open 15-footer off the curl, no go, and Bright Akweti will get it. Big fall there by Camacho. He's up.
Chucks it off.
Guys, tough as nails. Manzo for 3. Catch! Here come the Fighting Maroons. As the lead is down to 2, and Franz Pumaren will whistle for a ceasefire. the UP side of the United Center is rocking. A lot of it because of June Manzo, the Spitfire point guard, with a big steal. And then the big three. It seems as if there's something about the Adamson Navy and Baby Blue that, to June Manzo's eyes, he just sees them as red.
Right.
He's colorblind in that sense. When he sees the Adamson colors, he just sees red. And he seems to bring out his best basketball. A 12-2 run by the Maroons. The clock ticking. It's almost 3 minutes now. Adamson lead has been trimmed down to just 2. Lastimosa in place of Chauca at the point guard position. Jerome draws Bright. Hands it off to Jeric. Jeric to Lenda. And Duwanga over to Jerome. Lastimosa has to do something with it. And they will run out of time, will the Soaring Falcons, as they will whistle a shot clock violation. The other referee, other referee whistled for a foul.
Yeah. And then 2 officials, though, were signaling a 24-second shot clock violation. Here's the play as Duwanga was diving down. And there you go. The foul by Kobe Paras. The question is, was it in time? Oh, there you go. It's a 24-second shot clock violation.
Franz Pumaren, Renren Ritualo, Coach Jackson Chago, they wanted that foul to be called, but not enough seconds on the clock. Here's Bright, leaves it for Kobe. Kobe Paras off the window, ties the game at 74.
What a beautiful dime that was. Pocket pass, then Aqueri finishing it. Camacho right now.
Camacho in the baseline. And that's going to be a foul on Paras as him and Ahanisi were chasing after that ball on a wild pass by Camacho.
This was the pocket pass by Richie, forcing the rotation, and Kobe Paras to prevent the shot clock, putting that up quickly.
And there's a foul by Kobe, clear as day. As Paras with another hard call, Ahanisi with another hard hit to the face, with both of them shrug it off, and action resumes. Lenda in the post. Duwanga had it tapped away by Bright.
Excellent discipline defensively by UP that time.
Manzo gets away. They're going to whistle a foul on Duwanga underneath, away from the ball. And Lenda Duwanga, it has been a very frustrating day for Lenda Duwanga.
And I say that because nobody collapsed on Duwanga as he had good position on the post. And this one right here, early seal by Bright. Duwanga trying to swim in front of him to take him out of position.
19 seconds.
Oh, Jeric Ahanisi's headed to the bench here. 3:01 left. They'll go with the Chauca Lastimosa backcourt. Manzo to Bright. Manzo for 3. Oh, overshoots that one as Duwanga with a big pull down. The ball is in the hands of Val Chauca.
Fortunate was the defense of Adamson that time, leaving Manzo wide open.
Here's Jerome. Lastimosa. Lastimosa finds Camacho underneath.
Walk.
And they're going to call a travel on Simon Camacho as the pivot slipped.
They lost the ball on the way up. That would have been a layup. But a big break by UP. Big break for both teams, actually.
Rivero, Juan Gomez de Leaño, and Manzo, the 3-guard lineup for the Fighting Maroons. Rivero triggers in. June against Val. They want to go to Bright. They get it to him early in the shot clock, and they space it out. Aqueti against Duwanga. Aqueti with a tough pass. Manzo off the bank. No, Manzo with a cleanup of his own miss. Lead now with UP as they've come back. You're at 72-59, the largest Adamson lead. Now it's 76-74 in favor of UP. Chauca. Chauca runs into a wall. Chauca throws it away. Inside the final 120 in the PS Bank. Last 2 minutes. PS Bank Pa-send via mobile ang padala mo, cash agad in minutes. The counter steal by Adamson almost led to an easy layup until Paras gave up a duty foul.
And that's a good foul because first thing, they're not over the limit. And that could have ended up as a layup, as after Lastimosa drove, Akweti got hit pretty much in the middle of the stomach. Couldn't breathe for a while, but instead Adamson will set it up.
Chauca will receive. They'll have another try at this. They're down 2. Chauca to Jerome. Lastimosa for 3. Lastimosa with a huge triple against UP. Smells like last year all over again.
As my colleague says it, cash money.
Oh yeah, the foot on the line, they're saying. They're saying it was a long 2 and it's a tie game. Bright with 9 to work with. Akweti to Kobe, 6 on the clock. Kobe for 3. Wow, cash money.
And that was a dare
Rivero
shot.
with a steal. Rivero with a steal. Ball is live. Richard Rivero with a steal off the inbound. Manzo, Akweti, 2-man game, and Bright is fouled and will head to the line for 2. Oh, what a development there, as it was a massive stop, a solo stop by Richie Rivero.
Number 2, Jerry Galmici, that's his first personal team foul, number 4.
How about Kobe Paras? We're gonna see it a little while. That was a dare shot. I just read the lips of Camacho before he took that shot. He was saying to Kobe, "Itira mo, itira mo." And Kobe answers right back.
Your wish, my command.
And the big steal afterwards by Richie.
I think the referees are looking at whether or not the 3 earlier by Camacho is a 2. Camacho says, "Tira mo." And what's the game called? What's that game, Christian, that they play at children's parties? Simon Says? You gotta do what Simon says. And there's a steal by Rivero that led to the extra possession by UP, and now 2 free throws on the way for Bright Akweti. Well, the Camacho attempt earlier was ruled a 2 on the spot, which is why Adamson's at 76. If they rule that as a 3 upon review, we'll change it up. But after looking at it, it seems that the score, oh no, so the referees and the table, well, they're looking at this again. So the technical committee is calling back the refs to look at it. And Franz Pumaren wants to talk to his guys. This is pretty much a free timeout.
Well, this game has been played to the extreme, Nico. In the last game of these 2 teams in the first round, Adamson had a huge 21-7 second quarter run. UP comes back in the third with a 27-9 run. Same thing in the second half of this one. Adamson with that run led by Camacho, 29-21. UP flipping it 22-10 so far in this fourth.
So a couple of things still being determined here. What we do know is Bright Akweti is on his way to the free throw line for 2 free throws. Adamson, I think, is contesting that the jumper by Camacho should have been ruled a 3 and should bring their total up to 77. Well, the referee is explaining something to Coach Bo Perasol after having just spoken to Coach Franz Pumaren.
And if you're Adamson, Nico, defensively, because they've been pretty much either overplaying or doubling Akweti on the post, but the way he's been moving after he just came back of, putting the shoes back on, he's not been the same player. He's been hobbling a little bit inside. He's been looking to pass rather than to score. So in the next few trips, maybe 2 or 3 possessions, you might want to force Akweti to score the basketball, as Adamson right now still down by a bucket.
So they rule it as a 3, the Camacho conversion earlier. So you were right in saying, the Lastimosa conversion earlier. So Jerome Lastimosa, 1 year later, hits a big 3 against UP. There's answer back by Kobe Paras, and Bright Akweti has 12 and 11 to make it a 4-point game. This time it's Noah Webb that they put on Val Chauca. Chauka still with it. Val draws Bright. Akweti chasing down Chauka. Akweti to Duwanga. The push shot in and out. And it is Akweti, Camacho, and now Jun Manzo that comes away with it.
What a play by Bright. Stayed in the hip of Chauka as he was driving right to left, left to right, was just enough to force the difficult shot and get the stop.
21-second differential game and shot. There is 7 on the UP 24. Manzo to Rivero for 3. In and out. Bright can't get to it. Here comes Chauka for Adamson. 18 seconds left. Lastimosa.
Great closeout by Kobe.
Nisi. They gotta do something. Lastimosa for 3. He's fouled. Oh no, it's an offensive foul. It's an offensive foul on Jerome Lastimosa.
Paras had to ask Noah what the call was. This was the challenge.
So they're gonna call an offensive foul on Lastimosa for sticking that foot out.
And that's the right call. Credit the official for being on top of the play, and credit UP. If they come out with this one, well, they're gonna come out with this one up by 4, 8 seconds remaining, winning with their defense.
Well, Christian, the thing with these two teams is I don't know anything anymore. Adamson and UP, man, how good are these matchups? They deliver every time. We have 8.5 left after this. .5 seconds remaining.
This was the stop by Bright. You see, preventing the blow by, trusting the help, and getting a hand in right here. As you thought Chauka would have that one, stick with it until the last moment, until Jun Manzo, who has been outstanding as well. 4 points in the first half. In the second half, 13 points. The steal, the layup, the three-point shot. Talk about playing your heart out for the point guard in Manzo and Bright Akweti.
Well, Kobe Paras will shoot 2 free throws after the offensive foul by Lastimosa. 21 points for Kobe. Left that one short.
3 of 7 now from the line. Pretty much a 75 to 80% shooter for this season. It's Kobe.
UP has a foul to give. Second free throw up and short for Paras. It stays a 4-point game. Here's Chauka. And Chauka will be fouled. That's a foul to give. It's given up by Bright Akweti as Chauka tried to navigate and split the double.
That's his third personal, team foul number 4.
And they're going to whistle for time here as Adamson will have the ball with 5.2 left, down 4. Here's the remaining assignments for the Fighting Maroons. The NU Bulldogs. And then it gets to October 27th where they draw the DLSU Green Archers. And a final game for them in the regular season, a rematch of the finals. Ateneo de Manila. For Adamson, their road to still contending for the Final Four goes through FEU, UST, and DLSU. All of those guys are in the same boat as them. So expect hard-fought battles. Here's the inbound. Kobe taps it out, and it will stay with Adamson this time with 3.5. So UP, either with a foul to give or with that tap out by Kobe, have done a good job getting time off the clock.
And the last thing that you want to see on UP right now is obviously giving up a cheap one with somebody taking the three. Obviously, that's the only chance Adamson will send this game into overtime on a 4-point play.
Yeah, at some point, you know, quotient obviously will play a very important factor, but you can't think that far. You just got to get the win. Maybe just allowing whoever catches this get a good look, a clean look without fouling them. The best option. Here's Ahanisi for three. Manzo will not contest. Webb will get the block, and that will do it. One more time, the UP Fighting Maroons storm back against the Adamson Soaring Falcons, and one more time they deal the Falcons a tough pill to swallow and a massive heartbreak to take home.
And what you like about it is that the last three possessions, they won with their defense. Bright Aqueri, we saw that one, a center guarding a guard in Chauca. The steals by Manzo, and even up to the last second, ended up with a block by Noah Webb. What an impressive win for the Maroons to still stay in solo second.
They had the Growling Tigers breathing down their necks. But as for right now, they push back a little bit and they stay at the second spot, and Coach Bo is thankful. Check out the sportsmanship here from the reigning MVP to Val Chauca. And Val, obviously, he feels terrible about the result of this game. Played fantastically in that first period. Had some costly turnovers in that second half, but played as well as you could. And a valiant effort from him and the rest of Adamson as well, but they fall short, 81-77. Our PS Bankable Player of the Game, PS Bank Home Loan, isang araw lang, may bahay ka na. It's June Manzo.
Well, he ignited that run when Adamson, led by Camacho, got into their biggest lead of 12 points. June Manzo, 3 points in the first half. The rest in the second half. Steals, layup. He was just a presence on both ends.
The this Dataland Residential's quality win was won by the Fighting Maroons. They improved to 7-4. With USD behind them at 7-5. And Ateneo leading the way at 12-0. But for Adamson, this drops them down to 4-7. Well, that is a full game behind 5th place DLSU as of right now. Let's meet our AXA Know You Can Player of the Game. And he's back, talking about Juan Gomez de Leaño. His season high so far, 15 points to finish for Swish.
Well, what you like about it is that overall he didn't really force anything. This was a timely basket right here. Those 2 3-pointers I thought in the first half, I thought was huge, especially when Adamson was getting into their run, and then had the big 3 that we just saw in the fourth quarter.
It is a tough sight to look at the Soaring Falcons right now as they look dejected after a heartbreaking loss. But action continues for them as they will meet FEU in the 12:30 matchup on Wednesday at the Araneta Coliseum. UP will see action on that day as well against the NU Bulldogs to start things off at 10:30. And then the finale for that day, we can expect fireworks here as Aljun Melesio meets Renz Abando and the Green Archers take on the Growling Tigers. But Christian, one last thought. Once again, UP comes away with a big win.
Very big win for them. Obviously, we mentioned that for them to secure that second spot, they got to win all their games. And to win like this with their defense, you really got to be happy if you're Coach Bo.
And they will move on and try to deal with the rest of their scheduled so far after a feel-good win for Adamson. They're going to have to recover and recover quick as they too are back in action on Wednesday. Once again, the new rivalry of the UAAP, it delivers to expectations as Adamson and UP left us out of breath multiple times in this one. And once again, it came down to a furious rally in the fourth quarter. And unfortunately for the Soaring Falcons, once again, it is the Fighting Maroons who break their hearts with a late game charge. For Christian Luanzon, for Yanni Mayo, for Rain Matienzo, for our entire team over at ABS-CBN Sports, my name is Nico Ramos. I invite you to keep watching on Wednesday as we resume UAAP action. This is the UAAP Season 82 on SNA.